Alright guys, so I'm back. I had to let my camera charge up, and I also had to let it get clear some storage on here. So back to the story. So I believe I left off with me in the shop. In the shop, I went back to the shop, and now fast forward to me talking to the guy.
Motivation that I feel I need. Ooh.
The guy who was smoking, he basically said, he asked me who did my piercings. No, actually before he asked me who did it, he asked me to lift up my shirt. He was pretty rude, but I knew he wasn't being rude. Because I say he wasn't being rude because I could tell that he had a very, you know, that friend that you gotta watch out for because their mouth is kind of reckless but they mean no harm at all. He was that type of friend because they were kind of like joking around. It seemed like they were off the clock. And I'm just the type of person, if you're in an establishment and you work for the establishment, you're supposed to uphold yourself until you're not on their grounds anymore. Act like you're an employee until you're not on their, you know, until you're not there no more. Like, doesn't matter if you're on or off the clock, just uphold a certain stature of respect for your place of employment. So he asked me to lift up my shirt to see the piercings because I explained to him that, you know, the piercing was going in, so I think I needed a longer bar, so on and so forth. So he said, okay, lift up your shirt, let me see what's going on. So since he already had like a joking kind of manner with me prior to me even explaining what was going on, I'm like, you for real? I'm like, you for real? I'm kind of laughing with him because I didn't think he was serious given that we were in front of 2 other people. So the black girl on the left of him said, yeah, he's for real. Like, she's laughing, but it was like I didn't feel disrespected. I just felt like they weren't professional. So with that being said, I just lifted up my shirt and he was like, okay, yep, I can see it from here. I'll do it for you. He asked me who did it, and one of the girls said the piercer who's typically there, and I was like, yeah, that's him. And they was like, I don't know why. The guy had said, I don't know why he would have did that anyway, because obviously I could see it from here, like that's not the right bar for you. So they had went outside to go do something, and the Spanish girl had stayed inside, and she was basically gonna get her nipples pierced, I believe, that day. So she was asking me like, does it hurt really, really bad? And I was telling her, you know, it doesn't hurt too bad, but you know, everybody's experience is different. But the pain for me, it definitely did hurt, but it was a bearable pain. Like, it's nothing that I would say is the worst pain in the world. So on and so forth. The guy comes back, he tells me to go to the back where I got pierced. So I walk back there, him and another lady start kind of arguing, kind of talking too much, and I just feel like when you're handling something like piercings or tattoos or any form of service that if you slip up, then it's going to cause me some type of harm, then you don't need to be doing too much when you're dealing with a customer, because at the end of the day, if something goes wrong, then you could literally get sued, like you and your place of employment, because you weren't being responsible for what you had to do. You were multitasking to a point where you didn't need to be multitasking in a certain task. So with that being said, so on and so forth, they kind of had an argument. I guess she was a manager in the business, like everybody's kind of doing a job that isn't fitting their description. So he was annoyed with something he had to do. And the girl was saying, well, yeah, well, we all got a lot on our plates, and my son has autism and ADHD, and I have to be a stay-at-home mom for him during the pandemic because it's an 8-hour day and he can't really sit down for that long, or so on and so forth. And then the guy, he's saying he has a kid or something, and was like, well, we all have to do that because our kids are new to this, they're all in elementary school, so on and so forth. So it's not only you has to deal with this plus working here. It was too much. It was so unprofessional. I'm just like, isn't this a conversation you guys should be having at like a work meeting that involves the whole crew? Or if you need to deal with this privately, shouldn't it be in private and not in front of a client? But I ain't saying nothing. I'm just letting it rock. I just need my stuff fixed, and I knew I was going. I was at a point where I was like, I might not even like, I feel like I should just leave, like, but I didn't feel unsafe. I just felt like they were just way too unprofessional. He was cleaning the stuff, the tools and whatever while he was doing that. So I was like, okay, at least I know cleanliness is up to some par. And fast forward to him actually changing the nipple jewelry. He took the jewelry that I had in out, and he asked me which color I wanted because he didn't have the same color I had in the longer bar. So I'm sitting there debating because I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't want a color, and I ended up picking a light blue color that's so not like me. I don't even really like the color blue, but it looks cute. I can't complain because I like it. And all in all, he started working on something else, and I'm asking him like, okay, as far as maintenance goes, you know, what am I really supposed to be doing? Because when he was cleaning it, there was some, it's not pus, but there was like some stuff in my nipple, and I was asking him, well, is this supposed to be there? Is this part of the healing process? He was like, hell no, that's not supposed to be there. You're supposed to be cleaning it. So I'm like, well, how am I supposed to be cleaning it when the jewelry is in there when I'm at home? And he was like, you could take it out, but we don't really recommend taking it out for people who just got them, because when you don't know what you're doing, they usually take them out and then you stretch the hole that's there and so on and so forth. And I'm just kind of confused because I'm like, well, why wouldn't you recommend somebody to do that and clean their piercing the right way if that's what they're supposed to be doing? Because mind you guys, I told you that the guy who initially did my piercing, he didn't tell me how to clean it. All he said was to get some saline wound wash and rinse it 2 to 3 times a day. So I'm thinking when I got home, all I have to do is spray it on there and clean any residue that's on the piercing off with like a rag or a Q-tip, which is what I was doing because he didn't tell me to take out the piercing. So I'm like, why would I take it out if he didn't tell me to do that? So I'm like, okay, at least I know that I actually have to take out the jewelry from here on out and clean it that way. So after that, I told him, thank you so much, I appreciate it, so on. I was like, am I finished with everything? He was like, yeah, you're good. So I left. Guys, when I tell you, like, if I would have knew that the shop was so unprofessional like that, then I wouldn't have got the piercing at all, because I'm just so, like, I don't want to have to go back to that shop. I'm not going back to that shop actually, but I never wanted to continue to go back to a shop to maintain the piercing in any way, shape, or form. I thought once I got it, boom, I should be able to take care of it on my own and no hassles. But I mean, life doesn't always work out like that, and I know that, so I didn't take it as too much. I just wish the shop would have been more professional, and that's it, like professional and clean. But everything can't be the way I want it to be, so here I am now. I'm gonna give you guys some more updates on my piercing. I might do, the next time I do it might be when it's completely healed, if nothing else goes wrong. So I think that's supposed to be within like the next 6 months, 6 to 9 months, something like that. So I'll be sure to give you guys a part 3. That's probably gonna be the last time I do an update. Hopefully I don't take them out by then, because I don't know, if anything else goes wrong, I'm taking them out, never putting them back in, never getting another piercing, because as I told you guys before, this is the only piercing I've ever got for myself. When I got my ears pierced, I was under 1 year old, so I had no control over that. Mind you, I don't have any tattoos, and this was my first piercing on my own. So if anything else goes wrong, I'm tapped out. I don't want nothing else to do with none of that. So that's where I'm at with that. Other than that, guys, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And, you know, make sure you tune in to the next video. Bye.